Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of ImmaPlayDisGame. Today's game is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link for the Nintendo Entertainment System, sequel to Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Same console. Isn't that great? Anyway, I've got some interesting things to say about this game, and also from things of my personal experience with this game. So why don't we delve in, and I'll share with you some of the weird memories. No, I'm just kidding, not weird. Just memories of this game that I had. Alright. As a kid, yeah. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Like I said before, a lot of people associate this with being the black sheep of the franchise. I think it's a great game. I don't think it's the best Zelda game out of the whole series, but I think it's a pretty good game. I mean, also, people do complain about the difficulty of the game, being that you have 3 lives in the game instead of just dying and then starting either at the beginning of a dungeon or just at the screen where you died. Regardless, still, I like a little challenge, and so does everyone, but, you know, in moderate amounts. So, of course, the story is different, sequel to the original. Apparently, Zelda fell into a sleeping spell after stuff went down with the prince, and yeah. And he's going on the most adventure quest yet, even though we've only seen Zelda 1. Yeah, but why don't we go in? So it's got, you know, the regular stuff, right? Like in the first Zelda, you got your profiles, and it lists your progress. You have to register your name or eliminate your name, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eliminate this guy because Alan is Alan. So, let's name him Link. I'm too lazy to put an I in there, so let's do it. Alright, so here you go, you got 3 lives. Like in every game where you got 3 lives, you got the multiplication sign, yeah. We're past that screen, so why am I talking about it? Okay, so here is Link, the sprite, right here. In this game, he is approaching his 16th birthday, so he's not Little Link anymore. I don't exactly know how old he was in the original, but it was obviously below 15. So here's Zelda sleeping on the pedestal or whatever, and the fire's there, and yeah, what if she wakes up and then, like, it burns her face off? That wouldn't be okay. And this whole place, the whole background is a fire hazard. I mean, like, what if the wind just comes in the curtains and they fall on the flame and then Zelda gets burned? Man, a lot of flaws in the palace rather than in the game. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, it can be described as an RPG here. You got your experience points, and when you reach 50, you can either upgrade your health or your sword power or the amount of magic you can carry. I forget exactly in what order. Here you got your life bar. Right, its durability increases as you upgrade it using experience points. Same goes for the magic. And for the sword power, it's pretty much self-explanatory. The more you increase your experience, the more powerful your sword becomes. And here, Link's got a different design, of course. You've got the sword in one hand and the shield, that green stick being the shield. And if you can actually see it if you hold down B and you just hold it down, you can see that green shield right there. And also, he shoots sword beams just like the original. Now, here is the overworld map. Isn't it beautiful? You see those little symbols out there? If you happen to walk into one, you'll get taken to a different screen. You can also see like little monster cutouts, depending on what they look like. See the blobs? Those are the weak ones. And if you see the big cutouts that are waddling, those are the stronger enemies. So every time you run into those, you get pulled into a battle screen, and you gotta fight a few monsters, and you get to gain some experience points. Each monster is worth a different amount of experience. Like here, these spiders are worth 2 experience points. These moblins, I don't know, because they just vary because when they feel like it, because you know, independence and choice. But yeah, you just gotta when you find these guys, you just gotta fight them out. And as you delve further into the game, you're gonna find that enemies are gonna get tougher, and except the amount of experience points you get from those tougher enemies increases. So right now, I really have no need for these magic containers, so I'm just gonna get out of here. And occasionally, you'll run into these towns, these little towns over here, where you can refill on life and magic, and also just get hints on things that you need to complete the game. And also, one of the controversial things in this game is this woman right here. She'll refill your health, but she asks you to come into her house. So you do that, and you never see what's going on in there. And I guess that's up to anyone's imagination. I don't want to contemplate exactly what's going on in there, because whatever it is, it's probably just a pixelated mess. But yeah. The towns aren't exactly that big. Well, they sort of are depending on the town. This one isn't very big. And you have to find... Well, you can find people who will give you spells. Like here. Anyone that comes out of a door like this, you go in, and you should find an old man in the basement. Which, how did they... I don't know. Yeah, there he is. There he is. He's squeezing his beard. He's squeezing it. I'm not joking. I don't know what... I don't know if that's his hand, if he's tapping it, but there's definitely some squeezing action going on there. Anyway, I'm not gonna go to a palace or anything like that. But, oh yeah, I would like to tell you about my personal experience with this game. I wasn't around when it came out in 1988, but a lot of you probably know, or most of you don't know, this was re-released on the Game Boy Advance when Nintendo decided to release Game Boy Advance ports of NES games. And I'm Jewish. Just putting that out there right now. I'm Jewish. And on Passover, I got this game as a gift. And I was about 8, I think. I was about 8. And I had played the first Zelda game for the NES, and I knew right away the difference, other than the fact that it was a side-scroller. The game was much harder, and you had lives, and you know, that bothered me. That really did. So being bothered with all those things, in addition to that, then there was the game over screen, Return of Ganon, which the black silhouette of Ganon's original form in the NES game, in which he looks like a pig, and the whole background's red, and there's just this silhouette of Ganon with one of his eyebrows raised as if he's just like, "Are you kidding?" But and then he makes the sound. It's like, it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. See, yeah, you can update either of these. It scared the crap out of me as a kid. And when I saw that screen for the first time, I put the Game Boy down and I just cried. I'm not afraid to say it. I just cried. I don't know why. I had played other games in which some of the things shown in it were more vivid and scarier. Like I had Wind Waker for my GameCube at the time, and I know that there were creatures in that game that were lively and vivid that honestly to any 8-year-old could look kind of scary. But out of all the things, it was this one game over screen that just scarred me for 3 weeks. I had to sleep with the door open. I never picked up that game again until a couple of years later when I got Zelda 2 on the GameCube Zelda collection. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna face it now because I'm older and I can do this. And I did. And I got over that fear. But for those 3 weeks that I was scared, I didn't touch that game once. I didn't even look at it. As a matter of fact, I had to satisfy myself that I would never see that again. So I went outside, and I took the game with me, and I threw it in the garbage, and I watched the garbage truck crush it, because I just needed to know for sure that I wasn't going to be playing that game ever again. But I was wrong, because I'm playing it right now. Yeah.